Need of Modulation by Dr. Sapna Rane, Head of Electronics Department, Mama Saheb Mohol College, Pune. In today's lecture, you will learn what is modulation in electronic communication, why there is need of modulation. Suppose by walking, how much time you will take to travel from Pune to Mumbai? Maybe one day or 2 days. We may get exhausted in between. But if we take a taxi, then we can reach within 2 hours. Why? Because car travels fast and it does not get exhausted as long as petrol is there. The same thing happens with the signal. The information signal is a low frequency signal and can be compared with a walking person. It cannot be sent alone from source to the destination. Due to attenuation, it may die out soon. But if they are added with high frequency signals called as carrier signal, which can be compared to the car, can travel a longer distance. Why? Because as we know, E is equal to h into f, where E is energy of wave, h is Planck's constant and f is frequency. Thus, E is directly proportional to f. Energy is directly proportional to frequency. This addition of high frequency signal to low frequency signal can increase the energy of the signal, and this process of addition of high frequency signal to the low frequency signal is called as modulation. Now let us define modulation technically. In electronics and telecommunication, modulation is a process of varying one or more properties of periodic waveform called the carrier signal with a modulating signal that typically contains information to be transmitted. A modulator is a device that performs modulation. According to the terminology, the low frequency signal is called as modulating signal, which is an information signal. The high frequency signal is called as the carrier signal. During the process of modulation, the high frequency signal and low frequency signal are added together. In this process, some parameter of high frequency signal is changed in accordance with the low frequency information signal to produce what is called as a modulated signal. In this particular figure, you can observe the amplitude of the carrier signal is changed in accordance with the information signal. This kind of modulation is known as amplitude modulation. Why modulation is necessary and why we cannot send the baseband signal as it is, original signal as it is? There are various reasons. For practicable height of an antenna, to avoid the mixing of the signals, for sharing the channel, to increase the range of the communication. Do you know the wireless communication is a long range communication? This wireless communication is possible with the help of a device called as an antenna. An electrical signal cannot be transmitted into the air. Instead, this electrical signal must be converted to electromagnetic waves with help of antenna in order to transmit the signals in air. Hence, the antenna is the most important component of long distance communication. The very first reason of modulation is for practicable height of an antenna. This is an antenna and this is called as the height of the antenna. In order to operate efficiently, antenna need to be in order of magnitude of wavelength. of the transmitted signal. So height of the antenna must be equal to wavelength of the signal to be transmitted divided by 2. Here you can observe the electric signal is applied to the antenna whose length is lambda by 2. It efficiently transmits the electromagnetic waves. Now how to find out the wavelength? Wavelength is equal to c divided by frequency, where c is the speed of light, which is equal to 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meters per second. Generally, the information signals are low frequency signals. If you take audio signals, they range from 20 Hz to 20 kHz. The length of an antenna for 20 kHz audio wave will be equal to 3 into 10 to the power of 8 divided by 2 into 20 into 10 to the power of 3, which comes out to be 15,000 meter or 15 kilometer. 15 kilometer high antenna practically is not possible. Now, suppose if you want to transmit 1 megahertz wave, then the length of antenna can be calculated with the help of formula, and it comes out to be 150 meter. 150 meter is quite less as compared to 15 kilometer, and 150 meter height of transmitting antenna is practicable. So in conclusion, increasing the frequency of the signal can reduce the height of antenna and make it practicable. The process which translates low frequency signal to high frequency signal is called as modulation, and hence we can say that modulation can reduce the height of antenna and make it practicable. So there is need of modulation. To avoid the mixing of the signals, we need modulation. Take example of the radio. It transmits audio signals. All audio signals range from 20 Hz to 20 kHz. If all stations transmit without modulation, then all signals will mix up and you can only listen to the lot of noise. What is solution? The solution is the modulation. If you modulate signals, then all the signals will be separated in a frequency domain as shown in this diagram. There are 4 sources and 4 signals, and 4 signals are separated by different frequencies, namely FC1, FC2, FC3 and FC4. So if we perform modulations, then we can avoid the mixing of the signals. For sharing of the channel, we need modulation. The sharing of communication media is important for efficient communication, and this can be done by a process called as multiplexing. So this particular image shows the process of the multiplexing, and this process of multiplexing is possible only when the signals are modulated and assigned with the different frequencies, and when the signals are modulated, the bandwidth can be shared, and hence modulation must be used for sharing the channel. To increase the range of communication, we need modulation. Who can cover more distance? Old man or Milka Singh? Obviously Milka Singh. Why? Because old man is weaker, whereas Milka Singh is strong and energetic. The same thing happens for the signals. As you know, E is equal to HF, and E is directly proportional to F. That is, energy is directly proportional to the frequency of the signals. Generally, the low information signals are low frequency signals having a low energy. The greater frequency signals or high frequency signals have more energy. Modulation translates low frequency information signals to high frequency signals, thereby increasing its energy, and hence they do not die out soon, and hence the range covered by them will be more. In a conclusion, We live in an electric age where the world is connected without the need of wire. Messages, information and signals are sent from one part of the world to other within minutes and seconds. All of this is possible only with the help of modulation of the signals, and it can send signals from one device to other device, from one location to other ones miles away. So in conclusion, modulation is a very important process in electronic communication. Thanks for watching.